Saturday morning, kind of early. I don't have to go to work today because it's raining. That's okay with me. I'm not heartbroken. I think what I'm going to do is fix the problem I got with the Firebird, the one I kind of screwed up before I took off on my trip. And caused it to... It ran fine, but I had to baby it a little bit. I messed up something in the carburetor. So I'm going to fix that. And maybe after I clean off my workbench a little bit. Maybe. Got the workbench sort of cleaned off. Good enough I can find what I'm looking for anyway. And I'm going to pull the carburetor. Well, no, I'm just going to pull the top off the carburetor. I'm not going to pull the carburetor off. And some people have been asking, where's the 46 Ford? It's right here. Got stuff stacked on it. I got some other stuff I got to get done. We got a few days before the little guy needs to drive it, so we got to prioritize a little bit. There's the cab. Oh, and by the way, some people have been asking me to make a detailed rebuild a quadrajet video. That'd be hard to do, and I'm not all that inclined to do it, but if you're really interested, get this book. It's a good book. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Because that's what I did. I read books. I got a couple other ones, but that's the best one, I think. And really all you need to work on these things is some very small drill bits. Very small. I guess I could show you that. They come in these little things here. You need a little pin vise and some patience and reading comprehension skills. But I'll still do, you know, keep doing what I do. Okay, go ahead.
I was going up the highway.
Mm-hmm.
And my Honda acted as if it had hiccups.
Say it did.
Yeah. So what could be the malfunction with that? Bad gas? I don't know. I drove it yesterday.
What noise was it making?
It wasn't. It was kind of like, almost like it was wanting to shift or something on its own free will.
On its own free will. It's a rebellious car then.
When I wasn't shifting it,
but it's an automatic.
It wasn't consistent.
It's an automatic.
I know.
So it does shift on its own.
I understand that, but at the wrong rate of speed, it was wanting to shift.
Well,
I understand it like shifts.
So is it making any kind of a noise? Mm-hmm. Nothing you can duplicate?
No, it was...
Come on, help me out here. That's what I'm looking for.
All I can think is, the first thing that came to my mind was like, my car's got hiccups.
It's probably the hiccup-inator. Alright, I was telling you how I screwed up in the Firebird carburetor, and here's where I screwed up. This is the primary metering rod hanger. That's the one that was in it, the one I got my finger on. This is the one I put in it before I left. I thought this one was messed up and bent, but turns out that's the way it's supposed to be. I found another one just like it in my extra parts there. So this is a little bit taller, which pulls the metering rods further out of the jets. And there's some other stuff involved, but this carburetor requires more fuel because of this. It's a single main air bleed carburetor. So what happened was, I'm driving this thing around, and at part throttle it was detonating pretty severely, and it didn't do that before. So I compensated by turning that screw all the way out. I got it to where it would run pretty decent, but the whole time I was in the mountains, it would, if I asked much more of it than just easy driving, it'd detonate until the secondaries opened, which is not cool. So I'm gonna switch it back to that hanger, and it should cure the problem. think. Here's something you can do for the secondaries. This had DA secondary metering rods in it, and I'm going to put in some DUs. And the difference is the tip is smaller than these, so that it will make the fuel mixture richer at full throttle. And this motor seems to like richer every time I give it to it, so heck, it's only getting 10 miles a gallon anyway, right? But you can find these metering rods pretty much in 70s, mid 70s, big old Cadillacs and Oldsmobiles and stuff. So if you're at the pull apart, keep your eyes open. That's where you can find them. Or you can make them. And how you make them is just find a set of big ones like that. Let me lay them down there. See the difference? That's a very lean secondary metering rod. You can either chuck them up in a drill press and a piece of sandpaper and get them down to where you want them, or you can put them in the lathe one at a time, obviously, and turn them down. I've done that before. It's doable. Still raining. I looked at the radar a little bit ago. It's covering up half the East Coast with the rain. But we had a dry summer. We can use a little rain. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. No big wind or nothing. We're in good shape. At least here.
There's a person supposed to weld down here.
Clean it off.
I know, right? Every time.
You ain't gonna weld in that getup, are you?
No, I need a welding jacket.
I got one.
I know.
Kind of cute
But
in
this
that.
is keeping me from getting wet from the house to the shop.
Hey, don't run
That's
off of that.
yours.
I need that. Alright. Alright, I got the Firebird back together. I need to pull it out. I kind of hate to pull it out in the rain. I need somebody to donate another garage to the place. What I need. Look at her. She's been chewing me out.
This is a 4x2 workbench. It's all that I ask, and you got stuff all over it. I can't work.
It wasn't quite like that.
That's what you sound like. It's a little rainy, but I'm going to take the Firebird for a tailspin.
You are, you better be careful.
Okay. Since you got your hands in the parts washer, I guess I won't take you with me. You'll stink up my car. Well, it's going to be mighty hard for me to go anywhere since the battery's dead. Evidently, somebody come up here in the car and got something out after the trip and left the passenger door partially open, which left the dome light on, which ran the battery dead. And this has got one of them Optima AGM batteries in it. And for some reason, when they go dead, they won't take the charge, or at least this charger won't give it a charge unless I hook it through another battery, which has some charge. So that's what I did. So I'm gonna have to let her charge a while here, and then take it for a tailspin, which kind of fouls up my plans a little bit, but such is life. It'll give me time to talk about other stuff, won't it? Here's some metering rods and stuff and jets I got for Edelbrock carburetors. I suppose someday I ought to mess with them. That's one of my Quadrajet parts boxes. And all I do is keep an eye out for Quadrajets in any condition. And if they're not rebuildable, I'll take them apart and save all the parts. And that way, I got plenty of parts on hand. Look who just walked in out of the rain. What you building?
Trophies.
Trophies?
Yep.
Out of Volkswagen camshafts?
And horseshoes.
What's all this? You got your stuff on my metal shear. All I ask is for a little spot where I can cut my metal.
You aren't cutting any metal.
Well, here's a bummer. I was messing around. I had a loose speaker wire. I fixed that. And I was messing around with this radio. I was gonna adjust the bass. And you turn the thing off by, I'm trying to aim a flashlight and run the camera at the same time. Right there. Like, I messed around and turned the thing off, and I felt the switch go pop. No, it doesn't work anymore. That is a bummer. I hate to cut the dash and put a new style stereo in it. It's also a pain to get that radio out. You gotta take the console out and everything else. But I'm not gonna fix that right now. You can't hear the radio very good anyway with the engine screaming.
Oh, there went my nail.
I gotta get out of here. It's making too much noise. I'm going for a ride in the rain with a high performance engine. Well, sort of. Alright, we're in third gear. It's raining. So we're just gonna roll into the throttle and see what happens. There's just a touch of detonation there. Just a touch. Not very good weather for testing at full throttle. Alright, so I pulled the car in the garage. I messed around a little bit. I go to crank it up and back it out so I can pull the dually in, which is what I've been trying to work on all day. And it wouldn't start. Battery's dead. Look at what she done did. She made some trophies for horseshoe throwing contests for guys who like Volkswagens. I wasn't trying to work on this car today, but sitting in here idling, the alternator is making a little bit of racket, and I checked put a voltmeter on it, and it's just charging like 12.96 at idle and 1340 revved up, which is a little low in my opinion. I said, I'll worry about that later. So I went to crank it up and it wouldn't start because the battery was weak. So while I'm letting the battery charge, I figured I may as well pull the alternator off. And it's good that I did. Pretty noisy. So anyway, I think I got another one. Let me look around. Well, I do have another one. Trouble is, it's the same thing, only different. This is in the wrong place, but that's no big deal. You just take those bolts out and turn it. But the bracket right here is different. This one's a touch longer. And since the parts store in town is still open, I'm just going to go get another one. I have more in a pile, but I'm not inclined to fool with them today. I need to buy a couple new belts anyhow. These ones are probably, I don't know, 8 years old or so. And getting kind of worn and cracked, so I may as well put new ones on it. So that's what I'm going to do. Is that okay with you?
Yep.
Well, it's charging, so I'm going to back it out and I'm going to pull the dually in. Got some kind of ticking going on. I don't know what that is. I don't know.